just so you guys know, this is game number 2 of TGF versus TBF. That's Team Brutal Forest versus Team Green Forest, I believe.
Yes, indeed.
And by the way, I'm casting with Optimus Tom.
That is me, and I'm casting with ColbyCheeZe.
Exactly. By the way, you might give yourself a quick shout out. Like, where do people see more of you at, real quick, before we see level 1 action?
Well, I'm Optimus Tom. I'm part of the GG Chronicle community over at ggc.leecraft.com. I got my own YouTube channel, youtube.com/OptimusTomTV. I do shows like In the Zone. It's a little learned League of Legends show I do. I run community matches in Optimus Tom's Battle Arena, and I also pretend to play this game and record myself losing terribly in ELO Hell.
All right, awesome. Thank you for that. And so far, we don't seem to see any level 1 action. Last time, there was a big fight in the blue buff area where TBF completely demolished them, got 3 kills right off the bat, 2 of them going to the Misfortune, giving them a really big lead. And so they're like, no, not this time. No, thank you.
No, everyone once again
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all lining up on the line of scrimmage once again, but More is Better is going to continue to look like he's going to aggressively ward here. He does spot Alistar is spotted by Udyr. Udyr spots Alistar. Back and forth, little look out there. But once again, they have, the line of scrimmage set up. If I were John Madden right now, I'd be drawing X's and O's all over the place to kind of show the formation right here, but I'm going to spare everybody that right now and just say that everybody seems to be falling back to their lanes. Looks like we're going to get leashes down on rates by Ari for Mundo. Udyr is going to come over and start out his wolves and go for that blue buff to help him move through the jungle a lot quicker. That's going to be able to give him mana regeneration and cooldown reduction to spam those stances back and forth. And looks like everything's just going to be a pretty standard start to the game.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good here. And speaking of John Madden, that would be kind of awesome to have some ability to draw on the screen for people to see. Why don't we have that? I just want to draw smiley faces all over the place.
Apparently, there's an option that you could download a plugin for XSplit that lets you draw a whiteboard like on top of your screen and everything.
What?
But
Stop it, because I'm gonna go look for that like mid game, and I can't have that distraction.
Exactly. Like I said, I'd just be too busy drawing. I'm going to actually be moving around the map to see what's going on.
I may have to draw stick figure unicorns, but let's see how this bottom lane does. I mean, they've got a really strong setup. Of course, they're probably going to wait until level 3 or so to get aggressive. Wow, taking that volley. Not good. Don't do that. What are you thinking? Already popping out all these potions, and this is a really, not that weak of a lane. You've got the Sona who can do some considerable damage, and then Liquidity already putting it down with those big hits on the volleys. Of course, it's going to look like more damage than it actually is since they're level 1, and once they hit, the next level, they're going to gain a lot of HP.
Definitely, but still, they've actually Alistar walked into a bush and took a stone up top. There's volleys going down on Vayne, and they're just doing a really great job of harassing down on this comp and pushing them back into the tower, so they're not going to be able to be as aggressive as they want to with those pulverize, condemn, headbutt shenanigans that they can possibly pull at level 2 or level 3 like you were talking about.
I will mention one thing. I've noticed this in every game that I've watched so far with Liquidity here is that, man, they've got a really strong bottom lane. I've noticed.
Yeah, they definitely do. TGF, Pinku is an excellent support. He's definitely warding all the time. He actually has early wards in the river already to really counteract the fact that they could have an early gank from Mundo to try to put some harass down here, but because they have the vision, Liquidity is just so comfortable with Pinku's support that he's just literally standing like almost in tower range and just harassing down on Vayne and Alistar, not afraid of any headbutt pulverize combos or anything.
Yeah, I mean, even in those situations where they were kind of behind, such as last game, he still came out ahead on creep score, and he was doing great. So, I mean, if people are looking for lessons, you might want to add these guys, ask them for some help on bottom lane, So, anyways, let's take a look here, mid. That they tend to say that Rise is one of those counters to Ari in the mid lane.
I don't know, but we got action in top lane, Cole.
Yes.
You might want to take a look up here.
Yeah, Exhaust already being used on Koala to try and take him down. Doesn't appear to be able to do so. That's the one thing I hate about Udyr. It's like he gets away from everything. He's got this spammable run speed and shield, and it's just one of the most frustrating things to try and chase down and kill an Udyr.
Yeah, definitely. But that Udyr actually walked into the lane thinking he was getting a gank on Rumble. Mundo was actually hiding in the top bush over there and just kind of popped his head out when Udyr was there. And Udyr didn't realize what was going on. Before you know it, he had to pop the skill to get out of there instead of popping the skill for a kill. So a little bit of a weird kind of confrontation from the junglers in the top lane. But this middle lane, like you were saying, Ryze is doing a good job of harassing down this Ahri. But Ahri is already pushing him back to his tower with a slight CS advantage.
Yeah, they have been poking each other down, both kind of low on the mana. He seems to be doing a pretty good job of regenerating health, but here is the gank and a flash coming in, gonna bind him down. No mana to really do much about this. Ooh, ow, that will be a first blood, and I just bit the crap out of my tongue while talking.
Well, that's never good, but it's also not good that Ari fell down in the middle. That Rise is going to slowly get a little more out of control, though he got the assist and Udyr picked up the kill. Not necessarily a bad thing, as that is going to negate any disadvantage that Udyr suffered from the failed gank in the top lane. So now, level 4, Mundo is level 4, and Udyr already has a back and has picked up Ninja Tabby in addition to an additional health potion, if additional could be used anymore in that sentence.
Sure, one additional time.
One additional time to say the word additional, but now Mundo is going to be going back. He is going to be getting a Ruby Crystal, has his cloth armor, and then also has Boots of Speed. So he's going to be going into the jungle at full force, but still a little bit of a slight advantage for that Udyr. He's behind in CS, but ahead on what seems to be the experience war right now is, yeah, both of them are about to hit level 5. Udyr is currently going to hit it very quickly because he has not gone back yet. We see Rise, after picking up that assist, has gone back to get his tier of the goddess. He's going to be spamming it up to get as much mana as possible, to add as much damage as possible onto his skills. Ari looks like to be picking up Boots of Speed. Maybe did she start that Doran's ring, Colby? I didn't actually get a chance to take a look at her.
I really doubt it. I don't think that would be very smart of her to do that, so pretty sure she picked that up when she went back after dying.
All right, but she does have the Doran's ring in addition to Boots of Speed right now, so giving herself a little more mobility and tank ability against that Rise in the middle lane to make up for the fact that she did get ganked early. They did have to burn a lot of summoner spells to pick up that, though, so she should be relatively safe for now. Bottom one, like you said, Liquidity and Pinku just doing such a great job of constantly harassing down onto Vayne and Alistar, and they just really can't do anything against it. Look at this. The poke range on that Ashe from the volley and the poke on Sona is doing so much damage to Vayne and Alistar, and they haven't taken a single tower shot yet. They're just masters of this kind of tower range and aggro game on the bottom lane.
Yes, for sure. And if you look at the creep score, they are demolishing Vayne. She has not been able to stay anywhere near that Ashe and creep score. Let's see if we can have Red Eyes come in here and do something. He is going to try and land that cleaver. It's just that she is way too far back for that to be really effective, and I don't think there's much that he can do here other than just kind of give them a little bit of time to farm and keep the minions off the tower as much as possible. And there is the ping. We do see Tricks coming down. Don't think he's going to be able to make a gank possible, as they did have vision of him going down there, so that is seen.
Definitely, but now we see Ari actually kind of wandering down in the river over here. There is an enemy ward placed there. I think she put that one down. So she's actually going and warding the river in addition to doing that little bit of roam thing you're talking about. She hasn't really been able to go down for a gank on bottom lane or anything because she did suffer the first death of the game, so she's a little bit behind in that lane. Taking a quick look at the creep score, she is 10 CS up on Rise right now, and that is probably a tribute to the fact that she's constantly pushing him back against that tower, trying to make him get last hits and fight for them against the tower. So there she goes. She probably might be more roaming down possibly to the bottom lane. They do have a ward though, so they're going to constantly have tabs on her, maybe even checking the rates and see what's going to be going on for some counter jungling here. But still, that ever presence on the map, all she has to do is leave lane and the pings immediately go down from Rise. And look at this, Liquidity and Pinku actually decided to go back up this time, try to deny Ari of doing anything if she were to come down, but she's actually just going to stay back into the middle lane and farm up. Udyr will donate the blue buff to Swift's Rise in the middle, and not too much coming out in here, just a little bit of a mind game going on between the wards and pings right now.
Yeah, I find it extremely intelligent that he put the ward right here, so there's no chance that Ari can really get down there and gank that, and therefore Ashe and Sona know they can continue pushing up their lane as hard as possible. They have such a safe lane right now, and they're so strong and so far ahead. There's just really no consequence for them pushing that up at this point, and that's one of those things that makes that bottom lane so untouchable.
Yeah, definitely. They're doing such a great job of continuing to press that advantage. And even right now, like, the lane is in the middle of their lane, and this is the farthest that it's been all game. Vayne has gone back, picked up double Dorans and a Vampiric Scepter. Ashe going for the same build that she feels more accustomed to, which is a little bit more ability and attack speed by getting those Berserker's Greaves in addition to double Doran's Blade. So we could possibly see Ashe not even bothering to pick up that extra Vampiric Scepter because she has a little more self-sustain off of the heal on her Sona support, and they have such a great poke game in the bottom lane that they're not the ones taking damage, so Ashe really doesn't need that extra lifesteal.
You know, it's kind of interesting. This game, we haven't seen a lot of influence from the junglers. just mostly farming. We did notice that Red Eyes tried to come in there and help out at the bottom as much as he possibly could. It's just that they could not really make anything happen, as it's just such a strong lane anyways. And then Udyr not even really doing the whole thing that I thought he was going to do. I thought he would go for, you know, the early oracles and try and pick up some advantage from that, but he's just going for straight farming. And look at this ward, place it down just in time to see Trix coming down on the bottom lane, so they'll know that she's here. They could possibly come in from behind and do some work, but he doesn't actually want to make any mistakes, or possibly not even giving away his position. So instead he's going to go run into the bottom bush. That actually is going to work out in his favor. There are no wards there, so we could see a gank coming in here that would be successful. Let's see how he does once he gets in there. Of course, there are 2 knockbacks, so I don't know if it will actually work out in his favor. They do have a ward they placed down in that bush, so he's not even, yeah, he already backed off, obviously, so that's not going to work out.
Yeah, and the thing is, he could have played on the fact that More is Better and Vayne over here have not been able to land a single combo right now. So with any opportunity to go in for even part of a combo, that could have baited out there. Oh, a flash coming down from Alistar. Now a headbutt with a flash at the same time from Sun is going to negate the headbutt. Very well timed. Ash arrow almost in tower range. Sona ultimate goes down. Here comes Koala, and ultimate has to be popped by the Alistar. He's getting extremely low. Hawkshot goes off for vision, and there's the bear stance stun. I don't think Alistar is going to last that much longer, and Pinku actually picking up the kill there. Meanwhile, it looked like Ari was trying to come down for a gank on bottom to try to deter that, but Swift was coming in and contesting the middle lane. Good job following his lane and following up on that gank. So it looks like now we could possibly have a 4 against 3 dragon attempt. But now TGF's going to wisely back off because that Ari with blue buff, still pretty scary. Mundo, of course, super tanky, but excellent job of Udyr just kind of sticking around the bottom lane, even though he wasn't really waiting in the bush or anything. And the over-aggression, like I said, they're going to bait out some aggression from TBF and TGF, you know, doing the thing they did. They were poking and poking, and once Alistar saw opportunity, he went for it, but they sprung the trap on him. An excellent job by Green Forest there, capitalizing on that, you know, it's a little jump tendency of Alistar.
Yeah, that was really great of them to get that off, and I thought for sure that they would have the advantage, but with, you know, they had Udyr just close enough to come back in there and really turn it around on them. Yeah, also have to give a big props out to that Sona. She got all 3 of them inside of that ultimate, so it was a really good combo with the Ash Arrow stun plus Sona ultimate.
No, that was just the sheer damage output of all 3 of those champions. They actually did not even get her in the range of that tower. If that was in tower range right there, that could have been an entire 3 for none with the excellent positioning. But still, good job of Team Green Forest picking up, you know, a kill on that Alistar. Even after he popped the ultimate, trying to survive. They just have really excellent coordination. They're really showing a different form than what they had in the last game. I guess they're just a little bit more comfortable running this bottom lane composition as opposed to the Corki from last game.
Yeah, I think that it's less of that and more the fact that this time they have control of their own jungle. Last time TBF was all inside of their area of the blue, taking every single one of those with that early game advantage. And that just shows that if you have that really early game, if you get behind like that early game, it's really going to affect you very heavily. And in this case, they did not have that issue. So it's going to be a lot easier for them to hang in there and really make a difference.
Yeah, and Trix keeps trying to come down as Ari to try to do something and make a move on that bottom lane, trying to give Vayne and Alistar a little bit of breathing room. But Swift is doing such a good job either following the lane, warding up so that people could see Ari, or calling missing in action. As soon as Ari tries to walk down through the river or through the jungle, Ash and Sona are just backing off of the aggression, letting the enemy lane push out a little bit, and then they have to be wary of where's Udyr, where is Rise, where's everybody else from the other team, and it's just putting them in this very precarious position where Ari's roaming capabilities not really doing anything. But here she's going to force a pull out of Vladimir, a little bit preemptive of a pull, but they are going for a 5-man dragon attempt, whereas Rumble's still coming down from top lane.
And this could be really bad. Red Eye's going to get bursted down. Extremely quick liquidity. Taking that kill, going to make him even stronger now. Arrow going to hit Vayne just perfectly in through everybody. And now this is looking really nasty. The dragon was picked up there. And so on the chase there, this is going to be a 3-2 trade so far. Getting really low. More is better. Going to fall as well. 4 down. Can they get the ace onto this Ari? She is the last one alive. They are going to go ahead and dive this turret. But it's going to have to be really close as Koala's taking a lot of hits from that. Of course, it is going to be just enough for the ace as a nice last auto attack from the Ashe gets the kill there. I think maybe the red buff actually picked that up.
Yeah, red buff too strong as Liquidity was able to pick up a lot of kills. 3-0-3 right now.
No.
There's a 1-0-6 Udyr. That was just excellent positioning as everybody was trying to fight. They pulled Dragon out a little bit. That forced everybody to fight. Vayne flashed into the Ashe arrow, which let her just melt instantly under the sheer DPS output from the rest of the team. Ashe was actually in the Dragon arena, I will call it, where Dragon had been pulled out, so she was actually safe from everybody's attempts at any damage on her because she literally had a wall in between her and the enemy team. That's just let her range and her volley and everything really take precedence in that fight, and she took next to no damage, and that's just the story for Team Green Forest right here. That Ashe doing all the work that she needs to. Has a BF sword already. Vayne has the same kind of build with the BF sword, but Ashe, I don't even know, did she go back and spend her money? No, she has 2k in the bank. She's going to continue harassing down on this Vayne on the bottom lane.
Oh my goodness, and that damage already very strong. Gonna be even worse once she picks up her IE. The first chance she gets to go back, she'll definitely have that ready to go. And so I don't know, man. Like that's one of those times where Ashe is like, "You mad, bro? Shut that arrow." I don't think she expected to hit Vayne right there. There was that literally went through like 3 people to hit her, and as you said, she flashed into it. It was so perfect. I mean, I don't know how that could have gone much better for TGF.
It almost looked like Brutal Force is like, oh, there's an Ashe arrow coming. Everybody moved, and Vayne flashed at the most inopportune moment to try to avoid death. And unfortunately, she met it head on, and death was in the form of a piercing cold arrow.
And it was definitely ready to go on them. So really, really don't know. I mean, I think the TBF is just hitting a really hard wall this game, especially after that Dragon fight. And I think they lost the Dragon too. I'm pretty sure TGF picked that up. There was a lot of gold numbers popping up. So.
Oh yeah, TGF definitely got it. They have about a 5,000 gold advantage at 17 minutes into the game. That is unprecedented right now, and it's definitely going to be a tribute to that Dragon. Look at how much damage is
Top lane looks like he's going to flash in, go for the kill, but another flash being used. Ultimate pushes him back off. Those coconuts too strong. Other way, you know, if it wasn't for that flash and ulti, he should have been dead for sure. But either way, nice escape on his part.
We can actually take a quick look at the inventories of these champions right now. Mundo has an Oracle's Elixir, but he's not using it. I don't know if he's just trying to save it for the fact when there's more wards on the map or what, but he is not using that Oracle's Elixir. A little bit too afraid, I think, of dying this early in the game and giving up that Oracle, so he might just be saving it until he figures he can get a little bit more farm up and get a little bit stronger to really go for the counter warning game. But interesting item for him to pick up and then just decide, nah, I'm not going to... Ooh, there's an Ashe arrow.
Yeah, I saw that just barely. Oh, that would have hit. That would have been really sad for Slayer.
Yeah, that would have been a dead rumble, but uh-oh. We see a Mundo coming in for a gank on top lane onto Vladimir. Ari's even trying to roam up here and maybe apply some pressure, but Vladimir looks to be kind of getting out of there. Mundo could throw a cleaver here. He has to pop a ghost to get out of there. He's going to meet the cleaver head on anyway, but it's not really going to make a difference. Rumble's going to go back. Ari's come up here for almost no reason. Red Eyes finally popping that Oracle's Elixir. Now that Vladimir is out of the picture, he's going to go around and try to start counter warding or killing the wards in the river, but now that's left this middle lane open to pretty much a push from everybody as Alistar is the only one left to defend it.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be good to go now with Ari here, and everybody is just kind of grouping up. It is around 19 minutes. Probably not going to see a Baron just yet, but in the next couple of minutes, we're going to need to keep our eye on that area as we'll definitely see some contesting. He does finally pop his oracles, talking about the Mundo here, and we'll finally be able to clear out some of these wards that have been really plaguing TBF this whole game. So it's kind of like a complete flip from what we saw last time.
Yeah, this is the Team Green Forest we saw take down Legion in the semifinals, and they are playing to every single strength. They have regained their jungle. They did not have a level 1 jungle invade from Team Brutal Forest, so they did not get set behind because of that. And now Team Brutal Forest, they had superior timers, they had superior positioning, but now that they are the one without the vision, they are not looking to be very good places. Alistar is coming here with an ultimate, gonna pop that down. Sona gets an ultimate, doesn't really hit as many people as she wants to. Koala's be taking a lot of damage down here as Mundo's getting very, very low, but Mundo's not the one they want to target. Vladimir comes in from the side. Actually, Sona picks up that kill. That lets Ashe finish off Rumble. Is currently a 2-for-1 in favor of Team Green Forest, fighting under the turret of Team Brutal Force. You know, I thought that was a little awkward positioning, and the Sona ultimate didn't hit as much as they could be, but Green Forest making the best of it, turning it into a 2-for-1 under enemy turret fire.
Yeah, that was not bad at all. It's always good when you can go in there and only lose one person, pick up 2 kills, and the turret definitely counts for a lot more, especially since it is the second mid one, and that's going to be a big lead for them. Now if they're going to push this top lane down, they could possibly get this turret. I don't think they're going to continue to stay in. Yes, you can see that they're going to back off. They know that if they push this top tower down, they're going to have to back off, and then they could possibly lose Baron. So that's a very smart call on their part. One of those things you have to really pay attention to when you're pushing in the turrets is that if you stay too long and you're low health and the enemy team is full up and ready to go and you're all back, they know they can rush that Baron and pick it up before you get back in time to stop it. So that's just one of those considerations that top teams have to really put into place, and it seems that TGF really has that on their plate and they're thinking about that. So instead they do go for that dragon. They're probably going to pick that up uncontested and then just finish up their blue buff and go straight for Baron at this point. It is around the 20-minute mark, so I think that we will see those two teams vying for that position really soon.
Oh yeah, definitely. Once that 20-minute mark hits, you're going to be vying around that Baron bait, as a lot of people like to call it. And considering the superior vision that Green Forest has right now, they're in a great position to draw Brute Force into basically the trap where they're going to wait there around that Baron buff and try to just not only deny vision, but really force him into an improper engagement. Now they're going to be doing it by their blue buff here.
Oh, this could be bad. Red Eye's going to get caught by an arrow here, and the binding from Rise. He is going to get out of there. Does have his ultimate popped, so not going to help him save his blue, however, as that does fall. Kind of funny accidental ward placement here by the Sona, and they, kind of missing that bush.
I don't think she really cares at this point, though. They're getting revenge for every single blue buff that Brute Force stole from Green Forest last game.
This is very true. And right now they are just going to kind of poke down this middle area. I kind of feel like they would easily be able to take these other turrets, but at the same time they don't need to. They've got the creeps here, and they are doing great poke at the turret. Those volleys really doing work here, as they don't have heals other than Alistar. They are going to go ahead and try to engage on this. Doesn't look like it's going to help, as Mundo just takes way too much damage. Wow, the damage on the Slayer. He gets melted almost instantly, and they just don't have any way to really get in there and engage. More is better did not decide to go in and engage on that. Instead, all of the squishies going in, and I guess maybe a miscommunication or possibly just a misplay. I'm not really sure what happened there. Overall, though, that gave TGF the advantage they need to easily push down that tower, and they're going to take a free inhibitor out of that.
They are going to get that inhibitor, and I think, there's going to be a little bit more of an engagement as Rise is going to get a rune prison down on Ahri. Vladimir is going, he has to pop the pool. Ahri's extremely low, but look at the sheer damage going down on Alistar as the ultimate has to pop. Quickly switching onto Mundo, and Mundo does not normally destroy it as quickly as that. Alistar being caught in another rune prison as Rise is going to be picking up the kill. Ash has a kill on Mundo. Ash picks up the kill on the inhibitor. Rise, we saw taking down that Alistar, and inhibitor was at a total of 3 or 4 kills in the back and forth poke war that was going on up there. And now they might be trying to push down this top tower and then going for a Baron attempt. Although liquidity is going back on Ash, it looks like he probably has enough money to buy the entire game at this point.
Yeah, he just grabbed his full Phantom Dancer. That top tower is going to take a lot of hits from the creeps. It won't go down. They do have some people there to save that. Kuhn's just going to head back, buy his items, and I'm guessing that they're going to group back up, go for this Baron. You can see that Pinku is just going to check around for wards, see if they have any coverage of it. Now knowing that they don't, this is going to be a really easy chance for them to pick that up. They have lots of ward coverage, if you notice here, to cover themselves. So if TBF does try to come and stop that, they will have plenty of time to just step right back off of it and go for the kill onto them, or possibly even just pick up Baron quickly.
Yeah, and actually interesting point to see here that Pinku has been placing nothing but pink wards around the map, despite already having an Oracle's Elixir, currently having 4 in his inventory right now. I don't know if that's meant on purpose or what, but with that Oracle's Elixir up, he is going to be able to see all the enemy wards A-OK, but putting down those pink wards right away, I guess it's just going to give him a little bit of an extra jump to know where those wards are and are not.
And that arrow up top, Slayer going to get caught on here. Koala with the bear stand stun, liquidity going to keep him slow. He's definitely going to fall. That's a 4v1 situation, getting caught there, and not the place you want to be in. TBF just dying all around the map in a very dire situation right now, and TGF knows that right now they can push this 4v3 on the top lane. Going to take that tower down, as Ahri is not in place to help out just yet. And there we go, all 5 here ready to go as Pinku finally catches up to help out the team.
Yeah, and right now Team Brutal Force is not in the position they want to be in. They're in the position Team Green Forest was last game, as they are pushed back to their turret. They are not fighting a team with Baron buff. They are fighting a team that has a significant advantage, especially out of that bottom lane. Very good job from Liquidity. As we said, he had such a huge advantage on the bottom lane from last game. Now that his team is on the winning side, that advantage is just showing through in all of its true colors. Has an Infinity Edge and a Phantom Dancer compared to only the Bloodthirster that Vayne had to get out of just desperation for damage and sustain in the bottom lane. Look at this. Rune Prison's going down on Mundo, pokes from those volleys. Ari's trying to throw taunts down on the people. That might actually just be a signal for Udyr to initiate as the tower goes down.
And there it is, Flash.
Is going down onto Vayne. Vayne is actually popping the ultimate, trying to get damage and pushing people around. Rumble is nothing more than a glorified meat shield, and not a good one at that one in these engagements, as he and Alistar once again will be falling for the rest of the team just to fall back. Mundo is low. Ari needs to heal up. Vayne is getting healed back up to full from basically nothing. As it looks like another arrow going down, hitting Mundo as a Rune Prison hits Ari. They're just forcing themselves down onto these Nexus turrets. The poke and the back off of Team Green Forest right now is just doing such a good job of whittling away these champions that Team Brutal Force really can't even do anything to combat them, and they might lose their Nexus because of this.
Yeah, this is such a great poke. I've noticed that this strength really comes into play. They've got the Rise coming in with the binding, and then Ash Arrow coming in on top of that. But it looks like they are actually going to get a couple kills on the escape here. Let's see if Coon can get away. I think his Ghost might have... Oh, wow, just barely missing that Cleaver. But yeah, I definitely think that's... that was so close. Look at their health. That Ash was so low as well. But anyways, it's coming down to that Rise binding, really making big plays in this game, I think, and allowing that Ash to get in there and put down her CC stun on top of that. That's really just, wow. I'm so surprised at how fluid this team comp is.
Yeah, they just have a lot of chain CC if you think about it. Ash and Rise are really combining with their little minor kind of Rune Prisons and arrows and volleys for the slow and everything, combining that with the Sona, and then Udyr's actually able to run in there and get some nice bear stances down. They're just catching people out of guard and creating super positive positioning for themselves. They're going to be going over here, poisoning themselves for Baron. Brutal Force is in no way able to contest this one, as they are forced all the way back to their own base, and right now Team Green Forest just seems to be in such a dominating control of this game, which is such a stark contrast to what we saw in last game, where Brutal Force was the one that had such the kill disparity and such the huge advantage.
Yeah, I mean, not only are they so far behind on all the global, you can see they haven't even taken any turrets yet, so even if something were to happen and turn around, I mean, it's going to be such a hard climb to come back in this game for them. They would have to take down several towers to catch up on that. They haven't gotten any global, they haven't gotten any dragons, obviously 2 barons down, so I mean, I'm just having a hard time trying to think, like, what is it that TBF can really do? They, I mean, it just feels like such a strong synergy here. There we go, an arrow already being laid down onto Red Eyes, and so much burst as he will just almost fall. Ultimate does save him though. Vayne gonna fall, cannot even fight Liquidity, which is funny because usually Vayne will just completely destroy an Ashe 1-on-1. Not in this case, so far ahead at this point. And Slayer's gonna back out, only one getting hit by that ultimate, but it doesn't matter as the Nexus does fall.
Yeah, so a very strong showing for Team Green Forest, coming back after a deficit in Game 1 to tie the series up 1-1 in this best of 3 against Team Brutal Force. Like you said, that bottom lane showing the mastery that they do have. That is a Ashe and a Sona that play together all the time, and they are just showing that in spades right now. 7-0 on Ashe, 2-1-10 on Sona, and that bottom lane just pretty much carried the entire game for them right there. Not saying the other lanes were not that good. Rise is doing such a great job of farming against that Ahri and doing a really great job. Udyr running through the jungle and helping up that top lane Vladimir against the Rumble. Rumble is doing so much work against Vladimir. The constant pressure from Udyr just let Vladimir kind of snowball out of control in that kind of circumstance. And it just wound up being just too much for Team Brutal Force there, as they wound up losing Game 2, and we're going to be going on to deciding Game 3, Colby.
Can't wait, man. Tom, this is I don't see a lot of these like third games in a while for this tournament. I don't know if it's just coinciding, but anyways, I'm looking forward to it. Both teams really strong since it's been really, you know, back and forth on both of them. So I can't wait. I really want to see what they do in this next one.